Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm going to talk to you today about how the death threats against Hayden Hagler, his mother, and his girlfriend need to stop. Now, before you guys have any questions, Hayden Hagler is a tight end for the Jackson State Tigers or Jackson State University. They are a historically black college and university. And Hayden Hagler is a Caucasian tight end that plays for them. There are some white players that play for them. One of the more famous ones was Casey Terrio, who was a quarterback for Jackson State in the mid-2000s. I believe it was 2009 through 2011. And what I'm getting to is most of the Jackson State fans have been supportive of Hayden Hagler. They're saying that Hayden Hagler did not lose the game for them. Coach Prime comforted Hayden Hagler after the game and said it wasn't on you, it was on the team. Football's a team game. Jackson State's defense is normally like a stone wall. That's why they were undefeated up until the Celebration Bowl when they lost to North Carolina Central University. The MEAC conference, which is what North Carolina Central University is in, is against Jackson State University, who's in the SWAC conference. Well, in the Celebration Bowl, the MEAC has dominated the SWAC pretty bad. And I wish that would change. I'm from Mississippi, and in SWAC ball, I cheer for Jackson State. Even before Coach Prime came to Jackson State. You know, Coach Prime, a.k.a. Deion Sanders, was my favorite player growing up. Well, in overtime, Hayden Hagler was wide open in the end zone. And Shedeur Sanders, Deion Sanders' son, quarterback for Jackson State, threw the ball to him, and he dropped the ball. Hayden Hagler was overly excited. He let the butterflies in his stomach get the best of him, let the nerves get the best of him. And he dropped the ball, which happens. Happens to every player, no matter how good they are. It happens to every player from time to time. Football players are humans. They're bound to make mistakes, just like anybody else. Football players, black, white, any race or color. Black, white, Polynesian, Hispanic, football players make mistakes. And after the game, there was footage in the locker room that arose that Coach Prime comforted Hayden Hagler, said the game was not on you, the game was on us. Jackson State's defense normally a stone wall. They gave up tons of points and tons of yardage to North Carolina Central University, which is why, and I watched the game, North Carolina Central University jumped to a 10-0 lead very quickly. Now, Jackson State bounced back, and Jackson State took the lead pretty quickly after that, and Jackson State University had North Carolina Central University on the ropes. But on a 4th and 2 call in the third quarter, there was a snap to a white tight end of North Carolina Central University on a fake punt. I believe his name was Kyle Morgan. I believe the Caucasian player for North Carolina Central University, Kyle Morgan, I believe it correctly. That's his name. Well, the snap was to him, and he took the fake punt all the way to the red zone. North Carolina Central University scored. They took the lead. They had the momentum for a lot of the game, but then Jackson State tied the game with no time left, a pass from Shedeur Sanders to Travis Hunter, and tied the game. Shedeur Sanders had an awesome game. I think he had 5 total touchdowns, if I'm not mistaken. He had an awesome game. He had some rushing touchdowns and some passing touchdowns. And Travis Hunter had a really good game, too. Well, so the game goes to overtime. Jackson State goes on defense first, but North Carolina Central rams that ball down Jackson State's throat. They take the lead 41-34. And Jackson State drives. They get to like the 1-yard line. Shedeur Sanders throws to Hayden Hagler. On 3rd and goal, Hayden Hagler drops it. Then on 4th and goal, incomplete pass by Shedeur Sanders. North Carolina Central University wins the ball game. You don't blame the game on one play or one player. Jackson State University's defense gave up tons of yards. And they normally don't do that. And it's not just the defense. I mean, Shedeur Sanders had a good game, but there were some missed blocking assignments. Jackson State had to punt the ball from time to time. The special teams didn't read a fake punt. Now, I don't know if anybody could read that fake punt. The fake punt was a brilliant call by the North Carolina Central University coach. And the snap was to a white player, Caucasian player, and that got North Carolina Central University to the red zone, and that changed the momentum of the game. There were probably several black players that could have done the same thing. I really do believe that there were. I'm just trying to make a point. You can't blame somebody's race and throw a bunch of racial slurs over a drop pass like that. You can't attack somebody, threaten to kill somebody over a drop pass like that. Particularly if it's some adults that are doing this, as adults. Now, if you're a young adult or teenager, I can understand that. But when you reach a certain age, you're supposed to mature. And you cannot be threatening somebody. I mean, it broke my heart, too. I wanted Jackson State to go undefeated. I wanted them to go undefeated last year. I mean, last year they lost to Louisiana Monroe in the regular season. And in the bowl game, South Carolina State put a whooping on them, 31-10. It was a lot different this year against North Carolina Central University. It was a down-to-the-wire game. It wasn't just a butt whooping. That's why Coach Prime said it felt like Jackson State won. But, I mean, they didn't. But it felt like they won. So, lift Hayden Hagler up and pray that he learns from this experience. I wish him well. I wish T.C. Williams well. Deion Sanders has gone to the University of Colorado. His sons, Shador Sanders and Shiloh Sanders, have entered the transfer portal. Travis Hunter is going to transfer to the University of Colorado real soon as well. Travis Hunter was the nation's top recruit, but he signed with Jackson State over several Division I schools. So I wish those three all the best in Colorado. I wish Coach Prime all the best in Colorado. And then I wish T.C. Williams all the best taking over the coaching range at Jackson State University. Coach Prime laid out a blueprint, and I pray that T.C. Williams follows it and hope he does a good job. So anyways, I hope everybody's doing well. Take care. God bless and bye. Bye-bye.